On this edition of the Dimp Digital Podcast, Apps is joined by Alex Menzies and they discuss Kojima versus Konami.
For all they know, Kojima could have been off blowing millions of dollars taking Kiefer Sutherland out to a coke-filled party filled with hookers. And that's the sort of thing I think he definitely would do.
And they deep dive into the upcoming Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
My only concern is it's so massive, it's such a massive game. I'm just worried that there's going to be problems running it.
This really has been a journey from when it was first announced up until release. They really know how to market the game and get people excited and get people discussing it and asking the questions. Now I don't know what to do. I can barely sleep. It's cost me. It's really getting on my nerves.
All that and much more on the Dimp Digital Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Dimp Digital Podcast. We're on episode number 39, and this time you've got myself, Apps, and the big dog, Alex Menzies. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm really good, mate. How you doing?
Yes, good, thank you. Not too bad. Before we start the podcast properly, I've got a question to ask you. And it's probably the most asked question by all four of our fans. They're constantly interacting with us and they're always asking us bits and bobs, but they keep asking us over and over.
Yeah.
What they want to know, Mr. Menzies, are you still the big dog?
Oh, no, I don't know. Do you know what? Someone started calling me Amen, which is, I don't know how I feel about that.
Wait, Alex Menzies, they just shot a short with it to an Amen. Is that
Amen, yeah, Amen. I don't know if it's a religious reference or not, but no. Not many people throw about the big dog reference anymore. So my brother-in-law started doing it actually.
As he's
to deal with that.
So he started bringing that. But Amen. So maybe that's your new nickname. Will be Amen. We'll see.
I don't know.
Doesn't like
how I
it.
feel about that.
We'll try it out, and if it starts causing you problems, just let me know, and we'll pack it in.
Definitely.
So we're here to go through Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So there could be spoilers or what's considered spoilers from this game, from like previewing it, or old games. We might discuss some of our theories on what we might expect. We're going to talk about the launch trailer. Basically what I'm trying to say is if you're worried about any of this nonsense, then get out now. You've already clicked download and play, which is all I care about. Is that counter has gone up, so you can switch off now for all I care. And if you're gonna worry about hearing things that you might not want to hear, then I suggest you do so now, because I'm kind of in that boat with certain things myself. Let's take a step back from Metal Gear Solid before we get into that and discuss what you've been up to since we last spoke. So you last popped on about the gamer score addiction with Bud. You mentioned that since then you actually went through another run of The Last of Us. What's going on there?
Well, it was mainly just maxing out the abilities and stuff like that. Really, just for give it another playthrough on a difficult setting.
Does that have New Game Plus mode? I can't remember. Or is it you start again fresh?
No, it does carry over.
Right, yeah.
It does carry over, so that's pretty good. It was mainly brought on because I did another viewing of The Walking Dead from the first series.
Yeah.
And I thought,
got you in the mood.
I've got to get some exposure. So yeah, I thought, go back to The Last of Us. It was bloody nice to go back and play through it. Actually,
yeah.
You see a few things, didn't you, that you've not necessarily picked up on the first time round. And
yeah, that is true. You do notice certain things, and sometimes you'll trigger different bits of dialogue or dialogue that you didn't trigger the time before.
Yeah,
and I always find it a little bit interesting going back through, because I'm interested to hear about what your experience was with that, because did it hit the same sort of high notes as the first playthrough? You know, obviously you discover new things and you kind of surprised almost, but generally you're playing the same game. Did it still have that same sort of colossal feel that the first time going through did?
I think not in the same way. It's a very different experience the second time round. You're very aware of the story. You know what's coming up.
Yeah.
You can also sort of predict where your enemies are going to go as well.
Sure.
That's the only other thing. It takes away a little bit. Well, it makes it a lot easier, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
playing on a more difficult setting, you do get more enemies, and they're sort of
a bit more
routes, if you will, are a bit different.
Sure.
So it gives you a different experience. You could be a bit more tactical with things because you can sort of predict where the enemies are going to be and stuff like that. But I mean, it definitely doesn't take anything away from the game itself, though. I still think it's fantastic. I would love to have a sequel, but only if the story is going to be up to par.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that on the sequel front. I mean, I always find going through any game a little bit anticlimactic for many of the reasons that you've pointed out. It's like you said, you lose a lot of the surprise of what the game throws at you the first time round. And in particular, The Last of Us, and this is a minor spoiler from the part of the game, it's not to do with the story, it's just a part of the game, but that bit where you fall down the elevator shaft and end up in the basement and you have to switch on the generator, that was easily the first time through the most tense and frightening moment of the game for me.
100%.
Second time through, though, I knew it was happening, I knew it was coming in, I was mentally prepared, and I don't know, it just didn't have that same sort of edge to it, but you do notice things like you mentioned that you don't notice the first time through, and I'm sure I triggered off a few separate different dialogue trees with Ellie, just walking into different places. Are there, in terms of a story, would you like to see that chapter of Ellie and Joel continued or dropped together and just started afresh? Because there's a lot they could do with this universe without those two.
Yeah, I think there is. I think it'd be interesting to see what went on with Joel's brother. After it would be good to have a bit of a build up to sort of I suppose it starts 20 years on or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
There's so much to do in there.
They could show everything because there's so much dialogue back and forth about things that have gone on.
Yeah.
And when you first play it, they're making references to people, and you think, who the fuck are they talking about? So for them to actually go back, revisit that, and think, okay, we could actually piece together a pretty good narrative here. Yeah, I think they could definitely make it work. There's a lot to explore, isn't there? So
yeah, no, certainly there's a lot they can do there. I'm kind of happy with Joel and Ellie's story. I like you. I'd prefer if they just kind of went back a little bit in time and maybe we build up to how the Fireflies came to prominence, that sort of thing. There's lots of stuff they can do, and they've built a great foundation of things that they can do. Playing through a game a second time, are there any games out there where you have enjoyed it more so the second time off the top of your head?
Oh,
it's a tough one to just throw at you like that.
Maybe when I was like 10 and I first played through Metal Gear Solid, actually.
Right, yeah.
When I played through it the second time, when I had the stealth,
yes,
I fucking loved that.
Yes, that was so much better, wasn't it?
Especially if you go through the third playthrough or the fourth playthrough or whatever, you've got the stealth bandana and the tuxedo.
Yeah, you're running right, aren't you?
So you can attach all your C4 to people's backs and they don't know where you are and stuff like that in the beginning of the game. And
that is a good point. That's a good.
You could just really play around with it. You could get a completely different gaming experience. But again, it wouldn't detract from the original playthrough. No. It's just. No. But I think that's the only game that I can think of that I enjoyed the second time round slightly more than the first playthrough.
Yeah, no, that is a great shout, because you can play the game in a totally different way and just fuck about so much more that it just gave you that bit more freedom. So I'll totally agree with that. You mentioned Dead Rising 3, which you managed to finish off. So had you been struggling to get through that, or was it just like you'd stopped, or had you been just playing it at a slow pace, or did you just power it out? How was you getting through Dead Rising?
Well, I think it was just one of those. It was one of the first games that I got when I got my Xbox on the Black Friday
bundled
deal.
In, wasn't it? I'd imagine with that.
Yeah. So I got hold of a load of games in one go, and I was sort of, rather than polishing off one and moving on to the next, I was a bit
dabbling.
like a kid in a candy store and just going for everything. Do you know what I mean? Like flitting between them, not really committing. No. And that was just one that it was a bit of a pain in the arse. Actually, it kept freezing on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, there was a lot going on the screen in one go. for it to run at all is incredible, but I mean, it just kept freezing and it was doing my nutting. So
yeah, no doubt.
I got to a point where I was like, right, I'll knock this on the head and then I'll come back to it. I did when I eventually did come back to it though. I did enjoy it, but the ending. I don't know if you played it yourself.
I played through it.
It's all right. It's meant to tie everything together, isn't it, for the previous two games? But didn't think much of the ending.
No.
It was fun to have all the weapons and that, and level up to like 50.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was okay. It's fun to go back to. I did start a second playthrough just with all the upgrades and everything else, just to dick about for a bit. But that soon lost its charm. So
it tends to. I thought like it was just okay, and by the end I was really pushing to get through it. I wanted it done. It felt like a massive grind. And you know what? You was talking about the ending. I can't even remember what the ending was. That's how far it's just evaporated from my brain. It just didn't really engage me. I know there was old characters that popped up during it. But if they do a fourth one, it's going to have to be mighty impressive to win me round again, because the gameplay side of things, or having that many zombies on the screen is great, and being able to drive vehicles, that was like a good novelty. But then when the zombies kept breaking my fucking car in the middle of the highway, I was like, oh, come on, now I've got to run through these bastards. And it was getting on my nerves a little bit. I wonder what they're going to do with that, because there's a film coming out. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it.
It looks a bit bizarre.
That's going to be a stinker, isn't it?
It really is. Can't imagine the budget was too high for that. It's coming straight to DVD as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that says it all.
There you go.
Surprised we've been doing DVD. Might as well do VHS of that pile of shit and just get rid of it. So let's start off the old Metal Gear Solid 5 chat then.
Yes.
It comes this Tuesday, so we are literally days away. It's so close. It's come at the exact right time for me personally, because I've just come off the back of Bloodborne, which was absolutely superb. And since finishing the game, I was just talking about a minute ago how I don't tend to get that excited about going through it again. I did have an urge to go back through Bloodborne again in like the New Game Plus mode. There's so many secrets I missed first time through. There's even bosses that I missed, whole sections of the game, because there's so much stuff you can go off the beaten track and find all sorts of nonsense there that I just missed. But I knew that if I started playing Bloodborne again, it was going to be tough to get me off it, and I wouldn't have been experiencing new games, which I like to do. So having something as powerful as Metal Gear come just steaming in and taking over is perfect for me, because it completely means I can put Bloodborne on ice and be happy with it, because I'm getting something just as good, maybe if not better. You admitted you've built your entire year around this game. We've been waiting a long time for this. We're both pumped for it. Tom Adkins, I'm good friends with, he's come on the podcast, he's bursting with excitement too. What is your, are you worried in the slightest that this won't deliver?
My only concern is it's so massive, it's such a massive game. I'm just worried that there's going to be problems running it.
Right.
That is my only concern.
I can't believe it's coming onto 360 and PS3 as well.
Yeah.
That is, if it runs the full game, has all the content that the PCs and the PS4s and Xbox Ones have, I'll be shocked. That is a mastercraft, but I just can't see that happening.
Well, either that or there's just got to be a severe downgrade in the graphics. If that's the case, if they're managing to get all the content in. But
you played it on PS3, did you? Ground Zero, sorry.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes I played on PS3, and that looked amazing.
Right, but it's a small game.
Itself is is a glorified demo, isn't it? Really, it's I did love it though. Don't get me wrong.
It's just at one location. I guess they could concentrate on that a bit more. Before we get too much into the specifics of MGS5, there's still a little cloud, isn't there?
There is.
It's Kojima v Konami. Now we've discussed this to death on the podcast with yourself, and there's been some reports that came out earlier on in August, which I've purposely left off the podcast because I felt like A, we talked about it a bit too much, and B, it's better to save it for someone like yourself who's a massive fan of Kojima and Metal Gear Solid itself. So Kojima and his team are off the box, and although I don't know if you've seen some of the genius retailers in Australia, they've put all the cases out in the store, like advertised, like it's coming on Tuesday, and above it they put a big sign saying a Hideo Kojima game above it.
I didn't see it.
No,
it does it justice though.
Google it. It's a fantastic idea from then. But it looks like this wasn't a PR stunt, which is something that you kind of alluded to on the Metal Gear Solid special.
Yeah.
So that you thought it might be doing it. This seems like a genuine falling out, and everyone's getting on Konami's back for it. Now, I'm saying they're a disgrace and whatnot, but the report that I read, and this, I stumbled across this matter of 3 weeks ago. I've done a little bit more research for this, and I'm going to really quickly just go through a high level of what the report had in it. Which there's two sides to it. One was that how Konami treat their staff, which is a separate issue, i.e. they don't have external emails, they all get a randomised email, they have to clock in on their breaks, clock out on their breaks. So it seems like it's run very regimented and not, I don't know, it doesn't sound like a typical, I always imagine like a game development place being a bit free and a little bit casual until you're grinding to get the game up to gold, like until there's like a hard deadline you've got. But this seems like a place to work is very corporate, very stringent. There's even reports of senior members of the team being busted down to going on the assembly line and doing guard duty, all sorts of crazy stuff. I don't know if that's valid or whatever, but on the other side of the fence, this is what they did mention about the relationship between Konami and Kojima. Now, one was that the budget for MGS5 has ballooned to over $80 million. I'm wondering now whether he spent $40 million just getting Kiefer Sutherland in, just to get him to voice Snake.
There's a lot of dialogue there, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean that's a fair amount, and that was back in April. The budget hit that, so it's probably gone over that by more. Now, as we mentioned, we've been waiting for this for ages, so no doubt there's been countless internal delays of when Kojima's gone, right, it's going to be ready. No, it's not. It's not going to be. Every delay, that's more money for Konami to fork out, essentially, isn't it? Got production running. That's got to go.
Yeah.
One that's a small part, but quite interesting, is that unlike a lot of developers, Kojima actually earns a salary at Konami. So one theory is that he's been purposely, I'm not saying this is true, been purposely delaying the game, or not purposely delaying, that's the wrong terminology. He's not that interested in getting the game out quickly because A, he's earning a salary, and B, he wants to spend more and more time on it.
Yeah. Final
piece of this puzzle, Konami released a mobile game called Dragon Collection. That was made for a budget of under $1 million, so it's pocket change.
Yeah.
And that made them a truckload of cash. So the theorists say that Konami have now been reconsidering their strategy when it comes to console games. You're saying, right, I've got $80 million we've just spent on MGS5.
Yeah.
We spent under $1 million on this, and it's made us a fucking fortune. What's going on there? So last point's a bit of an assumption, but can you see if any of this is true? And a lot of it seems like, especially the figures that are coming out, seem to be, coming from truthful sources, that why perhaps there has been some internal wranglings between Kojima and Konami, because for all they know, Kojima could have been off blowing millions of dollars taking Kiefer Sutherland out to a coke-filled party filled with hookers. And that's the sort of thing I think he definitely would do.
Yeah, I think he's a dark horse, isn't he? He's crafty. We've said it before about it. But I think there is an element of truth to it. I think my understanding is that it's come from multiple sources as well. It's not just one person who's sort of whistleblowing or anything like that. There have been complaints about the conditions for staff within Konami Towers, or whatever you want to call it. Their office looks fucking nice though. I don't know if you've seen it. I've actually got a mate who went there and delivered a fan letter to be given to Kojima.
That's incredible.
He actually got a reply as well, which is funny. But
from Kojima?
Oh yes, he got a load of bootleg shit, like loads of postcards and stuff like that, like loads of artwork and
fucking hell,
all sorts of stuff. Yeah, so
send him a letter.
Worth doing if you're in Tokyo. But I mean the offices themselves look proper nice. So for them to, I don't know, be treating their staff like shit, it's just I don't know. You just think they've made so much from Kojima Productions why something's gone wrong, isn't it? Something big has had to have happened. There's been a proper row here. Either that, or Kojima's he's got a bit miffed about something, and he's just taking a stand and he's digging his heels in. Yeah. And neither side are sort of, because neither of them, the CEO or Kojima, neither of them have confirmed anything. That's the other.
No one's said anything, have they?
They don't want to. And I've heard that when they've carried out interviews and stuff like that to do, with the upcoming release,
banned them from asking questions about it.
They've said beforehand, you're not to ask any questions about what's going on with Kojima. They just won't have any of it. Which is, I don't know, it's just strange, man. They dropped Silent Hills as well, didn't they?
Oh, don't. That's broke my heart.
Yeah.
That's killed me off, that has.
Yeah, because no one would discuss it.
No.
But yeah, it all comes back to the cash flow for the company and what's making them money. And I guess if the figures don't lie, they're making so much money from like the pachinko slots and stuff like that in Japan, and they're going into mobile gaming and stuff like that now. Having made that app or whatever, that mobile game, kind of shot himself in the foot a little bit, didn't he? Because that's just sort of paved the way for what they want to do for the future. But they're apparently they're trying to. There's a thing in Japan at the moment. They're trying to get the gambling law or something. I don't know if that's been. I read something about it recently.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was an old article or something like that, or if something's changed now. But they were trying to, because it's meant to be illegal for gambling, so there's no casinos or anything like that. And they want, these casino machines that are made by Konami to be put in casinos throughout Japan.
Right. Yeah.
But obviously they can't do it; they're restricted. So it all comes back to the money, but it's just I don't think we're ever going to find out, to be honest.
No, I don't think we will. Maybe one day. If they completely disband, surely Kojima will come out and say, "Look, this is what went." I don't know. Maybe we won't ever find out. It's strange. At the end of the day, I'm Team Kojima.
Yeah.
You've got to let the man work. Video games are expensive to produce. They knew that when going Metal Gear Solid 5, because I don't think he got to the point where he even said Metal Gear Solid 4 was the last one, he's not going to do it. And I can't help but feel that Konami kind of twisted his arm, saying, "Look, come on, do you want to do 5?
Do
another one for us." And it's no surprise that it's ballooned out of control. They've given the man an inch and he's taken a mile, which is fair game. I certainly would. The thing is that it looks like it's got very high production values, which you've always expected with a Metal Gear Solid game. I can't imagine that any of the previous entries were cheap to make either, so it's not like they've been caught out here and going, "Oh, bloody hell, why's he spent that much? What's going on?" And if it mattered that much, you'd put some sort of restriction on it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. This is the ceiling. Otherwise, it's coming out of your pay packet. Which I would imagine is also considerably high. So.
Out of your salary that you're getting as you delay the game for another year. keep yourself employed. But I do wonder now if Kojima or the team have managed to plant any Easter eggs into Metal Gear Solid 5 that slags off Konami.
Yeah.
That would be something that's hidden somewhere really hidden, so that a tester or a Konami employee wouldn't necessarily be able to find it easily.
Yeah.
That some fan will discover, and it'll be on the internet, and it'll be
on the belly of one of the goats or something like that.
Something ridiculous.
It up into the air.
That would be incredible. But maybe it was to do with a certain gameplay mechanic, or even there's rumblings going on of microtransactions being present in the game, not in the main game, kind of on the online PvP mother base style thing that's out, which I don't really understand because I've not watched enough on it. So I've got a feeling there's something happened to the game that they wanted to include these. I can't see Kojima being happy with having that sort of stuff in the game, but it could be something as simple as that. But maybe we'll never know what really happened. Right, let's talk about the game, because that's depressed me slightly. That's knocked me down a few minutes. So I've seen every cinematic trailer that's come out, so all the story-based ones and what they've released, but I have not watched any gameplay footage probably since I think it was like E3 2013 when they come out on the Xbox or Microsoft stage and revealed it, and they'd done the little sped up gameplay.
Oh yeah.
And it shows you like all the new things. I was thinking, bloody hell, this looks good. And I think there was then a half-hour demo after that they released on the internet. And I know there's probably about 3 to 4 hours worth of demos that have been released, but I've not touched those ones. I'm probably not seen anything new for about at least 9 months, and that was just when I was watching like a preview video and it was running in the background. But you though, as we spoke about off air, I thought you were staying away from us, but you've actually gone crazy on it.
Yeah, it's things pop up, don't they, on YouTube? They just pop up, and you can't avoid it.
No.
I'm really impressed with what I've seen actually. I did think there might be like parts of it that would put me off, but there's nothing that I've looked at and thought, I don't know how I feel about that. It all looks pretty much what you would expect based on the most recent games. My understanding is that it takes a very similar format to Peace Walker.
Okay, which I didn't play, unfortunately.
Which you didn't play, as we discussed.
Yeah.
But
fucking hell.
Yeah, so you've got the mother base element that's attached to it. So you basically, I don't know how much you want me to go into it, to be honest with you, mate. But
well, start going. Then if you start going, oh yeah, Skullface is Snake's dad. I'll be like, oh come on, where have you got that from?
There's no story spoilers.
No,
just about the game mechanics itself. So the mother base, you obviously you upgrade that as you go along, and you basically you recruit people from the field. Which has been talked about for a long time anyway. You could do that in Peace Walker.
Yes.
So you can view their sort of stats once you've knocked them out or whatever. And you can see what their speciality is. So if you need someone for your R&D team and this guy's coming up with like an A rating or something like that, you can, Fulton him up. Send him to Mother Base and put him to work on the R&D stuff, and then that way you develop your weapons and your equipment and everything else. And it's a really
quick question around that. I was thinking this when I first saw the Fulton system. It's like, oh, they'll appear back at Mother Base. I was like, oh, that's good. I'll just recruit everyone.
Yeah.
Is there kind of any balancing where you can't do that because it'll impact certain areas of your base, or could you conceivably go to a enemy base, recruit everyone, and they'll all appear in there? Or is it like a maximum sort of like mass, critical mass where the base will have too many people in? Do you know if there's any kind of balancing?
Well, they did have that in Peace Walker. You could only take so many people with you.
Right.
You could only put a maximum number of people. I think it was like 50. It was like between 50 and 100 people within each, area, each department of Mother Base. But that doesn't mean that people won't be killed, because you send them off on missions and stuff like that. If you send them off on a mission that's too difficult for their skill level or something like that, they end up getting slaughtered. So you can then restock and so if you've got someone who's fucking up on the R&D team, you send them out on a mission with an assault rifle, they're going to get absolutely trounced, and then you can replace them with someone who knows their stuff. So
that's quite good. I quite like the idea of that.
There's ways around it, but it looks good though, and I've seen the recent gameplay that was released with Quiet.
Okay, because you can get like companions or whatever come along with you. I think you got Dee Dee the dog. I've seen the horse. Obviously seen Quiet, and also isn't there an actual kind of small walking mech type thing? Is that correct, or have I made that up?
I think it's meant to be. I think it's meant to be like a version of Metal Gear Zeke, which is the one that you're aiming to sort of build in Peace Walker.
Right. Okay.
Because it all flows on from that.
Yeah.
So I think you can at a later part in the game. They've kept that very limited in terms of how much airtime that's getting, because one of the cinematic trailers, I think it might have been the first one that they
shows it at the end.
It shows it right at the end of him jumping in and storming out. But
I'll tell you what, if that's the last half hour of the game, I'll be livid. That's the only thing I don't like with trailers, when they put stuff in really late in the game, because there's things like that they put at the end that are there so you purposely remember them.
Yeah.
And then all game you feel like you're waiting for that moment. Like that fucking whale jumping out and killing that helicopter that I've seen about 1,000 times. That better be in the first half hour of the game. I'm going to be waiting for it because you think, I know the whale's going to come out in a minute and destroy the helicopter. I remember I played Dragon Age Inquisition. I watched the trailer stupidly. I watched the trailer about an hour before I played it. Don't know why I did it. I was like, I've already bought the game. There's no need for me to be doing this. I've invested. I'm sold. Thanks. No, I went on there whilst it was installing. Went, I watched the trailer. Showed this scene. And it was really cool. Like very end of the trailer, it was like, oh, that looks excellent. That scene didn't appear until the last boss battle. For fuck's sake, what are you doing, BioWare, you idiots? Probably EA, to be fair. But yeah, so I'm kind of getting a vibe where you've got your mother base that you can build up, and please step in and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Then you've kind of obviously got your main story missions that you can perhaps trigger at any point. And there's also maybe side ops to complete that are optional. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can kind of use your helicopters to transport to different maps or areas, and the side ops will be obviously separate, but they give you a chance to unlock equipment, weapons, upgrades, that sort of thing. That sounds like I think what might be happening. That's ideal for me because for some reason I get these games with side missions and I think, right, I'm going to do every single one of the bastards.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. I'll scrape through them all. And you know what? I get about 40% through the game, and I think, I want to finish the story now. I need to get, and I've missed. And then the last half of it, I don't bother with them.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get a good balanced experience. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's going to be very well rounded.
There's tons to do apparently. The only negative that I've seen so far is that because you actually have to go back to Mother Base,
yes,
and have a walkabout, which they did show. I think they showed that at E3.
Yeah,
didn't they? They showed a bit of footage, but
they showed the fucking sheep there going. Bah!
Yeah, because apparently there's not a lot to do there really.
No.
You're there, you walk about, and apparently it boosts the morale of the men.
Oh, right,
stuff like that. I guess you would probably do stuff like target practice and stuff there as well. But aside from that, I don't think it adds anything to the game. You go back a few times for the narrative itself to progress.
For sure, yeah.
That's the only negative that I've heard so far.
That is a bit of a shame. Have you ever played Mass Effect?
I haven't, no.
So essentially,
shame.
So it's great series, all three of them. And Mass Effect 4 will be out hopefully in the next 18 months or so. But in Mass Effect, you go out and you do your missions. You go to your ship and you hub and you go, right, I want to go to this location, it's going to progress the story, or I can go to this location, it's a side story, blah blah blah. Every time you do anything significant, you then come back to your ship, which I'm kind of now putting in the space of like the mother base, where it's kind of like a hub where all your companions are. But what the great thing about Mass Effect was that you'd go back there and you'd interact with every single one of your teammates, like the main characters anyway.
Yeah.
And you'd have dialogue trees, you'd get to know them, you'd build like relationships with them throughout the game. So that would have been great if they could include something like that into Peace Walker, where you can maybe unlock new sort of, like little story bits about some of like Kaz, or if Ocelot's there wandering around, or Quiet, or your other companions, or any like poignant figures that you've got working for you based on the story, just to get a little bit more information about them.
Yeah.
That would have been quite handy, but that's not a bad only negative, and I think that, like I said, it's going to be nice and balanced. You can pick it up and tackle the story side of things, or you can just do a standalone mission.
Yeah.
Or do you just go, no, sod it, I just want to conclude the epic saga that is the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I think what that does, having that option, will allow it to appeal to a lot wider audience, not only because it's on all platforms, but also the fact that people that haven't invested in the first lot of games might not feel out of place here, because they can just go away on these side missions and still enjoy the great gameplay, which I can't see being anything other than superb. In my view. Now, we've had the launch trailer.
Yes, glorious.
So it was fantastic. So you've got that emotional recap of the series, going through like Metal Gear Solid, working its way through, showing all the Shagahod, the other Metal Gears, all that sort of nonsense going through it. Then you've got Snake walking down a hallway.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Now I don't want to.
I was waiting for you to say it. I need to discuss it.
He's walking down the hallway. He's getting more and more bloody. That fucking horn's getting longer. The bloodier he gets. Then he turns into. He gets set on fire. He's fire. Then at the very end, when it tails off, he goes grey, and he looks a little bit like a Skullface man or Skullface figure. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's incredible.
Are they hinting
at something?
That it's all in his head?
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing? Because I don't know if you remember from it might be the opening scene, or it might have just been the trailer for Ground Zeroes.
Yeah.
When Skullface comes along, and he's got a load of Fox badges.
Yes.
Or they're backwards. They're XOF.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. Something along those lines. And I was thinking, shit, is this like? Is he
some
like
sort of fucked up?
Is he a double agent? Is it already a clone? Is it what's going on? It's just mental. Obviously, you've got the it's showing the transition of Snake anyway, because he ends up becoming Venom Snake, doesn't he?
Yeah, he turns to the right fucked up piece of shit. It seems like.
And then that's when he goes from being, it's the transition from hero to villain, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know what they were, if they're meant to be hinting, or if they just wanted people like me and you actually give a fuck to actually sit here and have a conversation about it and go, what does it mean?
Yeah. What's going on? When
it could mean nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Because I watched all the trailers before, and I was thinking, I'm kind of, I'm not. It looks good, but I've not had any major sort of what's going on here. That bit at the very end, I was like, oh my god, what on earth is going on here? Are they just fucking us about?
Yeah.
Does it mean nothing, or is there a genuine meaning behind it? I don't know. And now all the cogs are running about. Kiefer Sutherland being the voice. It could be. I don't know. He's been in a coma 9 years. What the fuck's happened?
Yeah.
Is he still in a coma? What's going on? It's ridiculous.
It's mental.
They've really knocked me for six, which I wasn't expecting to happen. I was expecting to go through the trailer, watch it, and be like, no bother. Yeah. Now I don't know what to do. I can barely sleep. It's cost me. It's really, really getting on my nerves. At the very end, which some people was going, spoiler. Well, I was like, wow, is it? We see Metal Gear.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting to see the new Metal Gear.
Now, again, if that appears in the last 45 minutes...
It's bound to, isn't it?
Come on.
It's bound to.
I can't do that, can they? I hope it appears in the first hour. It won't.
Well, that was pretty epic for what it was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it looks... Why? You
describe it, because I'm struggling for words to be able to describe this beast.
Well, why it's more of an upgrade than Rex, I do not know. Do you know what I mean?
They do that all the time, though, don't they? The further they go back in time, the better the Metal Gears get. You think, hang on, how's this happening?
Well, it looks like, I can't remember what the Metal Gear was called in Peace Walker, but that one walked on all fours.
Oh yeah.
Then you had the Shagohod, didn't you, in Metal Gear 3, and then you had Ray and Rex, and this one looks like just a mix of all of them.
It looks like it'll kick all their asses as well.
Yeah. I mean, that flame whip sword thing, whatever it is, I don't know. It's just it's mental. There's a sort of supernatural element to it, isn't there? That you didn't really have before. It was very like the first Metal Gear Solid. It was very gritty and it was dull and grey. I don't know. Everything was just mechanical. Whereas now they're hinting more along the. I don't know, that whip thing or whatever it is.
Well, what on earth? Where's he got that technology from?
That thing, that's what I mean. It just fucking threw me. And I wasn't expecting that at all.
No.
It was mental.
No, I mean, it smashes the ground, doesn't it? And then those dark spikes come through and pierce the earth.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's coming out of his head. I'm sure of it. In Snake's head. It looks very similar. It's black and it's spiky.
Yeah, because I don't know...
What is that in his head?
Because we see Snake... We've seen the gameplay footage, which is presumably the opening scenes of him in the hospital.
Yeah.
We saw that at E3 like 2 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah, Moby Dick Studios put that out.
And
that was genius.
I don't know if he's got that in his head there.
No.
But it to me, I thought it was shrapnel.
Yes, I thought that. Now, the only reason I now think it's not is because I've noticed it getting longer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know whether it's there or if it's like like a kind of like a sign, just to say this is getting more and more towards the edge the longer it gets. Almost like a devil.
Yeah,
I don't know, like subjective. Like it's trying to put in some symbolisation in there.
Yeah. Oh, it's mental. It's typical though, isn't it? Kojima stuff. It's just makes you think.
It feels like it's been a long, long time since. Well, this is probably the first time since, because Metal Gear Solid 1 was out. I bought it whenever it was, like 2 years after it come out. I've just got my PlayStation. Metal Gear Solid 2, there was not this same sort of internet hype building up. It wasn't quite at that stage yet in society. Metal Gear 3, kind of similar. I was a bit of stir about it, but I wasn't. I was waiting for that one a lot, but it didn't seem like I was watching all the trailers and whatnot. Metal Gear Solid 4, I watched all the trailers, but I never had a PS3.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucked the energy out of me. This one this really has been a journey from when it was first announced up until release. They really know how to market the game and get people excited and get people discussing it and asking the questions.
Yeah.
Which I think's a great sign of people that know their market and know how to get people talking.
Yeah, they know what they're doing with it now, definitely, after all it's been nearly 30 years.
Yeah. Yes, it has, isn't it? That's insane. That's insane. So, I mean, there's lots of reviews up already.
Yeah.
I've not read any of them, trying to keep away from any potential kind of backhanded spoilers, like the great twist at the end's a bit underwhelming. Why are you saying that?
Yeah.
No, I hate it when people.
Why say it?
Yeah, they act like they're doing you a favour. Yeah. No, you just ruined my fucking day, mate. That's what you've just done. So yeah, I stayed away from reading them, but I've been kind of score checking. Just checking the scores, because although that's an arbitrary way to look at a game, it does give you an indication of how well a game's doing. Very, very positive so far.
Oh, the IGN 10 out of 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is. I think GameSpot as well.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Game trailers is another one I use, and I find I like their video reviews. Game trailers, they, in my experience, they tend to be a bit more forgiving with games. They score games high, but they only gave it a 9.3, which I was a bit thrown. Well, I say only, they're still a fucking high score. Yeah. But I was expecting kind of like a 9.6. I don't think they ever give out 10s, or maybe a 9.8 is like the highest they've ever done. But I think in general, we're looking good. There's been some review outlets that have held back the reviews because they couldn't get the game completed during the review event. So that suggests the scale of the game for a start.
Yeah.
They've probably had a good few days and they couldn't get through it all. We're looking at a good one here, aren't we? Surely.
Oh yeah.
It can't be anything but.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to disappoint at all. It has been a massive build-up. It has been a long time coming.
And how many years has it been since we first knew that it was even going to be worked on?
Oh God, it was just after Revengeance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or whatever it's been called now. The fucking name changed so many fucking times, didn't it? But yeah, it was. I'm sure it was just after that got released, and that itself was delayed for years before it came out. But yeah, it's been a good 3-4 years, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm sure it's not going to disappoint. I'm really looking forward to it, and I don't know if anywhere's doing a midnight release.
Oh, they've got game will be for sure.
You've got to imagine they would do. If not, you can always pop to Tesco's, can't you?
Yeah. Well, the trouble is, because us over here in the UK have got a bank holiday Monday, it's really fucked everyone over. Because as there normally does a midnight release for most games, that's not opening until 8 o'clock the next day. Absolutely unbelievable stinker for some people. Game will do that. I know they'll probably do a midnight release. Are you considering it, or?
I am, but then
it kills you off.
This is the thing. You got to get home, and then you got to load the bastard, and it's gonna. There's none of that sitting down and I'll just take half an hour out of my day to just have a quick game, and it's like, this game needs an update. Yeah, thanks a fucking lot.
Day one 5 gig patch for your troubles.
Exactly. I imagine the file on this is going to be humongous as well. But there's plenty of room with Assassin's Creed Unity, which needs to be deleted. So,
did you off side note? Did you bother playing through that or give it a go?
I went. obviously the new one's around the corner, isn't it? I thought I'd go back and try and play it the other weekend.
Yeah.
It took an hour to load the fucking update where they allegedly fixed the problem where I binned it off before.
Yeah.
So it's been that long since I played it. Fucking got 5 minutes into it, killed someone, and then the whole thing froze. Like it knocked out my whole system, and I just thought,
full hardware reset.
It took all my power not to throw my controller at the wall.
Well, they're 40 quid. You don't want to be doing that. Why should you be bankrupt?
Yeah, that's
the trouble with those
Kayla
ones.
then asked me if I enjoyed playing my game. I said I haven't played it for long. She was like, "You've been in here for about a fucking hour."
Oh yeah, because those moments now obviously cut down maybe a little bit. So you've got to make every second count. You've got to waste an hour.
That's it. Fucking thing. Yeah. That's getting binned off. That's 50 gigs to free up right there.
Yeah. That's an easy 50 gig.
So that's the only thing I could go to a midnight release, but at the end of the day, it's not like I can come home and play it for much longer, and I'm going to have work the next day. So could load it up though, and then just wake up early the next morning. You've got to be tactical about these things now. So it's changed everyone's lives.
Got to get in when you can. So what is it you're most looking forward to here? Is it completing this saga? It keeps saying it's the end of the saga, it's the end of an era, it's done. Or is it actually playing the gameplay? Because it looks like they've pushed the boat out once again, and they're going to change things again, and it looks pretty much like it's going to blow a lot of people's socks off. What out of the two, what do you want more? Do you want the Punish Snake and the Big Boss transformation to be the best it can be, or do you just want to play the best Metal Gear Solid game you can? I know they go hand in hand. That's a tough question. It's a bit out of order to ask it, but
I think it'd be the actual gameplay itself. To be honest with you, I feel that in terms of the story and in terms of where I picked up in the saga itself,
yes,
Metal Gear Solid tactical espionage action being the first one that I played through.
Yeah,
I feel that everything for me that needed to get wrapped up got wrapped up in MGS4, and they could have put it to bed, and I would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
So the story, I'm not too fussed about. I'm curious about it. Don't get me wrong, and I am excited to find out about all these other characters that are popping up, and I'm sure there's going to be other characters reappearing from the previous games. Probably some people who we thought were dead.
Yeah, exactly. I always do that.
There's all sorts of shit going on, so it is something to really look forward to. But I think the ultimate thing for me is what you can do with the new gameplay mechanics. I mean, we've had a little taste of it with Ground Zeroes, but they've added stuff back in. The Fulton recovery system is back. I really, really like that game mechanic in the Peace Walker missions.
So I didn't play Peace Walker. That's really got to me. That has. Why did they release it on PSP first?
Yeah, true. You can get it in the HD collection though, mate. That's where I played it.
I know, but then it's already too late. It's already ruined. I was like, well, it's a PSP game.
True.
It wrecked it. It didn't, because it's probably fine.
Yeah. But, well, it's upscaled a little bit on the PS3, but not too much. There's only so much you can do with it. But bloody good game nonetheless. And
hopefully they'll do a big collection again.
Yeah.
Current gen.
That'd be outstanding to get the whole thing, one massive box set. Are you going limited edition?
No, I will not be going limited edition.
You don't want the fucking arm then?
Well, I'd love to have the arm.
Yeah.
Right, here's another thing. I'd love to have the arm. I was never aware Big Boss had a barnacle arm to start with. It kind of feels like they've made that up as they went along. Gone, let's tear his arm off.
Yeah.
Again, though, this is on my head. My conspiracies is like, is this even him? Huh? What? I don't know. Yeah, I would love the arm, but was it £100 and something pound? Was it for the?
Yeah,
they're all sold out anyway. I saw today actually that I think 400 people that ordered the limited edition from Game have had to have their orders cancelled because they fucked up the quantities. So those poor bastards are not going to get that. Dear. And if you're paying out that sort of money, you wanted that for a reason.
Yeah.
That is a absolute kick in the gut, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Halo 3 Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
People went mental for that, and then people kicking up a stink when they couldn't get hold of it just because they wanted the Master Chief helmet that does nothing.
Yeah.
And then they started reappearing. Everyone trading the game in. And they started reappearing. There'll be tons of it. I tell you what,
they're already on eBay.
That's it.
They're already on there.
Yeah,
80 quid, you can buy one if you want.
There you go. So
someone's recouping half of the money already that they spent.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm just going to have to book a stint off work, I reckon. I don't know.
I've got no time left. I'm absolutely steaming. I've really not planned this well. I've absolutely crumbled and chucked it away.
Yeah.
It's an aggravation. I think the version I'll try and get the day one edition.
Yeah.
If I can get it. I mean, I know it's got some aesthetic stuff in there and it's whatever. I don't really care, but if I can get it, I'll have it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a game changer, but I'll certainly be looking for that version of the game, hoping that wherever I decide to go has it.
Yeah.
I guess this is the dream for me in terms of what possibly could happen, is that this is I've not read anything. I don't know if this is ever going to happen. It's never going to happen probably, but this is how my dream scenario of Metal Gear would end. If Kojima went to me and went, how do you think this should end? I go, okay, I've got an idea for you. So the dream for me is that 2/3 of the way through Metal Gear Solid 5, Punish Snake and Venom Snake, his story ends. So you get the wrap up. You find out what that spike was, and then you find out he's transformed into this evil bastard. And then what it does is it lets you then take over Snake a few years before Metal Gear Solid the original and do the whole Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 missions as David Hayter taking down Big Boss. So then we get the 3D kind of taking down of Big Boss in Metal Gear 1 and 2, and then also you get to fight Grey Fox in the minefield in Zanzibar.
Oh shit.
And then you then get the best of both worlds. You get Kiefer Sutherland's, his bit, but then David Hayter gets his triumphant return.
Oh, he does need it, doesn't he?
Can you imagine that?
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's going to be missing from this is that husky voice.
Yeah. To be fair, Sutherland's not done a bad job from the stuff I've heard. I actually think he's
done it well.
But it's not him.
It has tied it in nicely with the voice actor they used in MGS4. For Big Boss.
That was always a botherance to me. The fact that it was Hayter in 3 and then this other guy in 4 at the end. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
It really annoys me like that. Like, I've been watching the TV show Hannibal and they changed one of the characters between 2 and 3 and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I've changed the actor, same character.
Yeah.
Really gets up my nose, things like that, inconsistencies.
They did a Game of Thrones as well, didn't they?
They do it all the time, didn't they?
Pissed me right off.
The Mountain, I think he's had about 6 different casts. Unbelievable. But yeah, that would be my dream kind of ending for this. It's never going to happen. That would be perfect for me.
I'm hoping, that was one thing I was going to mention, is that I'm hoping that we're going to see what goes. Eva's got to come back, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And then we've got to see.
She fucked him over. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to see the birth of the twin snakes and Solidus as well.
Yeah, I always think of Solidus as sort of like just a rogue add-on.
Yeah.
He never feels like part of, like, how is he president?
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't. He's just, the way they just slip that in as well afterwards, after having the twins.
Casually, it's like, what can we do in Metal Gear Solid 2 to make this more surprising? They had another brother in, and it was the president that you spoke to at the end of the game.
Mental. It's like when I found out about Will Smith having another son. It fucking threw me. Do you know what I mean?
Can't be dealing with that.
No, it's completely out of the blue. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting, because I would be actually interesting to find out what went on there, where Solidus came into everything, and Big Boss's awareness of what was going on and what his plans were.
Yeah, was he even aware this was happening?
Yeah, like, because he
been in a coma 9 years.
He must have knocked up Eva.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And because she says that she actually carried them. She says to Snake in Metal Gear 4, doesn't she? She's like, I carried you. It was a normal birth. You were a normal baby. Blah blah blah. And then you had a beard by 8, and
and you've got a husky voice.
Yeah.
Really hit puberty early. Must have them fucking nanomachines again, speeding him up from day one. Yeah, unbelievable. Let's quickly touch on Metal Gear Online. and then I'll let you go. Metal Gear Online's being opened up on October the 6th for consoles. January for PC. I'm not sure what's happened with the Master Race there, but deal with it. That's what's happening. What do you make? First of all, what do you make of this tactic of releasing the main multiplayer aspect of it post-release, like a month and a bit down the line? Rockstar did a similar thing with GTA 5 and their online mode. Are you a fan of this tactic?
To be honest, with the online modes, for me, they don't get much of a look in.
Well,
I still haven't played GTA 5 online, which is a sin, I know. But
no.
I am looking forward to the Metal Gear Online. From what I've seen of it does look good, and I think it would be a good laugh to play it.
Yes.
Get on there with a few mates or whatever, and but it's confusing me. It's the game mechanics are really confusing me. It seems like it seems like they got this supernatural element into it. I don't know if you can take over some of the abilities of people that you meet within the main storyline. If you can earn their abilities for your character on the online game. I don't know how it works, but there seems to be a hint at that from the trailer that we saw at E3.
No.
I don't know though. I'm sure it'll be fine. It doesn't really bother me that they're releasing it after
later. I prefer them doing that, and it keeps it out of my way.
That's it.
I can just concentrate on the single player game. I can just devote myself to that.
That's the thing. I mean, when you first get the game, you're not going to go straight to
MGO, are you?
No, that's the thing. You're not going to do that. Not with this sort of game. I could understand people doing it with with like an FPS or something, but not with this sort of thing. So
it didn't really need it, did it? To be honest, it would have been probably fine as it is, but they've kind of put it in there, maybe to try and appeal to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Some people can't live without it.
That's the thing. Either
multiplayer. Got to have my party chat.
It's another. It's another outlet as well, isn't it? For it's another cash cow.
Yeah.
Basically.
There's going to be microtransactions in that bit.
That's it. Sure. Yeah, I was going to say that's another thing that's put a few people whinging about that online. I've seen, but
don't buy them.
No, that's it. You don't have to do it, do you?
No, I don't think there should be any microtransactions in any AAA release game, let alone one that's cost $80 million to produce. But they're there. It sounds like they're only going to be in the multiplayer aspect, which I'm not too fussed about at the end of the day. Have you played any of the other Metal Gear Onlines that had come with the previous games? I think there's been 2 other iterations of it. I have never played it. I've never ever played a Metal Gear Solid game online.
No, I heard good things about MGS4 when they did, because I don't think that was the first one. It might have been the first one they did. When I finally got hold of a PS3 to actually play the fucking game, years after it was released, that was painful enough. They took the fucking servers down, didn't they? I got completely done over. But there we are.
That's what happens.
Never mind.
Yeah. So, just passing thoughts. Let's sum up your enthusiasm for this game. We are days away. You could almost say we're hours away if you wanted to do it that way. What's going through your head now? I just want to get stuck in, really. I just want to get on with it. I don't want to finish the game too quickly. I want to take my time with it. I want to give it the respect it deserves, and I'm just really looking forward to it. But like I say, my whole year has been building up to this game-wise. There's nothing else that's come out that's intrigued me, or I thought Batman might be a bit interesting, but I watched a bit of gameplay, fucked it off. Yes,
and now I thought, well, this is it. This is the one for this year. It's going to be Game of the Year. I'm certain of it. I'll probably be wrong. There'll be some other fucking thing that comes out and completely knocks us all for six. But I genuinely believe this is going to be Game of the Year, because there's so many people that are now into this and now looking forward to this game who have not necessarily been massive MGS fans. They just
exactly. I'm getting that feeling.
You can. It looks like the sort of thing you can just pick up and crack on with it without having any prior knowledge of what's gone on previously. So I think it's going to be massive. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah. I would echo those thoughts, and we're looking forward to playing it next week. And I'm just going to try and go into a bunker, I think, whilst I play it. Try and stay off any kind of social media where comments and people going, "Oh, this is that sort of nonsense."
Yeah.
Shut that all down and not get involved, because the last thing I want to do is get like a good 2 hours towards the end and find out what the ending is from some comment in a news feed or whatever.
Yeah,
that's not what I need in my life at all. Not at this age anyway. But let's close this down. If you guys at home want to get in contact with us, you can do. You can tweet us at Dimp Digital. You can like the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Dimp Digital, or you can email us using dimpdigitalmedia@gmail.com, so you can get involved and get in contact with us via that. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel as well. We've got video content going up every single week. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out when we do it. That's it for now. Game over. It's goodbye from Alex.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me, Apps. Thanks for your time, and ta-da. Just got a little extra bit for you, as always. I like to do you a little extra kind of secondary end bit for you.
Of course.
So I've put together a little prediction question for MGS5.
Oh yeah.
It's not very good. It's one of those things where at work I come up with some really good ideas, didn't write them down. I got home and I'd forgotten them all. But basically, I'm going to ask you some questions regarding the story and what you think might happen.
Yeah.
In the game, and you're just going to answer, and I'm going to write them all down, and then maybe we'll reconvene post-release, post-completion, and see how well you did.
Oh yeah.
There's only a few, so let's start it off. Nice easy one. Do we discover that Quiet was born a boy? Now, I will give you my rationale for asking this question. Many years ago, I stumbled across a forum post where someone was adamant that Quiet was born as Chico and had a sex change. They pulled off all the facial recognition. They'd gone, look at the face. It looks like how he would look in 10 years or whatever. So that's where that. And honestly, this post was. I normally shut that sort of thing off, but I was like, I have to read how this guy's got to this, and he put a very convincing argument up. And I was like, okay, it sounds like Kojima could do something like this.
Jesus Christ!
Just throw you like a little 180 and say, oh, you've been looking at a transvestite's tits for the last 30 hours.
God. That's thrown me. I mean, I've not heard that theory before, but that's pretty convincing. That's a pretty convincing argument, isn't it? It would explain why she's quiet, why she doesn't want to speak.
Yeah,
she's got a deep voice.
Yeah, and there was all stuff.
Bollocks.
There was all stuff about how, I don't know if you've listened to the tapes in Ground Zeroes. I'm sure you have, about what they kind of had Chico and Paz do. There's some weird. Like they kind of forced them on each other, and that's what's caused him to sort of go, oh no, I don't like that. Get
I didn't
off.
come across that.
Chop that off me.
They're brother and sister, aren't they?
I don't know at this level. I hope not, because then that makes it fucking sick.
Yeah, that's disturbing. I reckon that's a good shout though. Credit to whoever came up with that theory, whoever you are.
So we're going to go yes.
We're going to go yes.
Quiet was born a boy. Okay. Second one, kind of a stock Snake-like one. Does Snake get laid?
Ooh.
Because he's going through some fucked up shit in this one, I can guarantee you. But is he going to have time for that sort of nonsense? Because he is going mad. You can see it in his eyes. Or in his eye, sorry.
Yeah, I don't. If he's getting laid, it's going to be Shalashaska, isn't it? It's going to be Ocelot.
Yeah.
Ocelot's got a thing for him. His undying love for Big Boss.
Okay, so Snake does get laid.
Yeah, he does.
He does. Okay. This one's an easy one. Do both Liquid and Solid Snake appear in the game in some form? Not from any footage from prior games, like new footage as them as, I don't know, maybe younger or whatever. Do both of them appear in the game?
They've got to, haven't they? I think, yes. It's got. If they're saying, the biggest thing that they're saying about this is that it's tying all the stories together.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got to bridge the gap between what's going on now and what kicked off in Metal Gear.
Yeah.
So they've got to show them. They've got to.
At some point. Fair enough. Another one. Do we hear David Hayter's voice in MGS5?
I really hope so. But because of the relationship between him and Kojima, and I reckon Konami might have gone, no, you know what? We're going to be spiteful. We're going to fuck off David Hayter as well. You know what I mean?
Cut him out of the circle.
Yeah, I'm hoping yes. And it would make sense for them to use him.
Sure.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Konami found a way of binning him off.
Okay, so that's a no. We'll put that down as. Does Emmerich piss himself? This is Daddy Emmerich, obviously. He seems like a bit more of a hard ass, this Emmerich.
Well,
he's got braces.
He's got braces.
He stands his ground.
Legs.
Yeah.
Because
yes, he has, hasn't he?
I think he was in a.
Yes,
might have
he
been
was in a wheelchair. He was to start with. You're right.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I reckon he shits himself.
Put that in there.
He's full blown soiled himself.
Oh dear. Right, this is subjective, but we'll try it anyway. Does Snake, Big Boss, whatever you want to call him, does he go mad? Does he go insane? Subjective, but I think we can come to an answer on that once we've played it.
I don't think. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
And I'm going to say no because everything is pointing to him being insane. But I think he's motivated by something.
He's the only one in the know. He knows something.
He knows.
He's doing a boss-like thing.
On. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because the way that he approaches Snake in MGS4 at the end.
He's very calm. He's not.
Yeah, there's nothing there, and he kind of explains a few things about the philosophers and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not all what it's cracked up to be. Is it?
So I think I'm going to say no. I think it's just stuff takes its toll on him, and he just comes across that way, and he just thinks, I've gone too far now, so let's just fuck it. The world can think what they want, and
we'll go off and do it.
That's it.
Okay. How long will the longest cutscene be in MGS5?
Oh, good question.
That's a tough one, that one.
That is a good question, though. I don't know if they're going to be to the same calibre as they were in MGS4.
I don't think they will. I think
I think
tell you what,
that side of it is gone.
Here's one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about. Is that I've heard that there's not as many cutscenes and whatnot, and that Snake doesn't talk as much as he has done in previous games. I'm beginning to wonder whether Kiefer Sutherland's bill was too much, and I was like, you know what, we can't afford to pay this bastard all this.
Yeah.
We've got to cut his audio line. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a flat out fee or if it was like an hourly rate in terms.
He was doing it per word, I reckon. Keith. He was like, look, per word. Do not make use of this. I ain't messing around here.
I reckon there's going to be a lot of repeated dialogue.
The same one just going over. Yeah. Snake just says 8 words for the whole thing, and he does go insane. They go, he's cracked up.
Yeah,
he's absolutely lost it.
Done.
Keeps saying la 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 la. That's all he says. We don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Oh Christ! Longest cutscene. I reckon tops. We're looking at about 10 minutes.
Oh really? Okay.
10 minutes, which is quite generous. But it was longer than that in MGS4, wasn't it?
I wasn't the very end one. Like the stream of cutscene then was like 60 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it was 60 or 70 because after because you get that whole wrap up, then you get the obviously boss and big boss and Snake at the end. I think it was up to an hour that last bit. Because I remember finishing it thinking, cool, it was 11 o'clock, and I looked and it was nearly 1. I was like, what's happened here?
I reckon
I loved it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
All those that whined about it being a film.
Shut up.
If I wanted to play a film, I'd watch a film. Well, you can't play a film if you're watching a film, can you, cock? So I think 10 minutes. I think that is quite generous, but
It's gonna be a hard one to judge, isn't it? We'll have to
it
find
is
a
hard
way
to
of...
judge, and I'm basing that on Peace Walker and how they did things in that.
Sure.
Because that wasn't normal cutscenes. That was all like graphic novel sort
Yes.
of slides and stuff. So we'll see how they do with it.
Fine. Finally, does Ocelot fuck everyone over post credits with a little sneaky speech?
Oh,
He's always messing around.
he always gets a look in, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's definitely gonna. He's definitely gonna. There's gonna be something. There's something sinister. There's got to be something that we find out about him that we've never even contemplated.
Thought of, yeah. Maybe he's Chico.
Maybe he's Chico. Yeah.
Impossible, but you know.
Maybe.
So that's it. That is all the questions there.
Yeah.
So I'll keep those and see what happens.
Good stuff.
I'm pumped for it now.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed it's a bank holiday because that's fucked everything up.
Oh no.
I was going to get it before I went to work, but it's not open now.